Alright guys, hello and welcome back one last time for the day. It's Myrmidons facing off against Team Arcadia. We're in the ace match. The score is currently sitting 2-2 across the board. This game decides the entire series, Scott, and it's an SPL qualifier invite on the line. That's a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. These guys have played this entire split, matching the SPL for weeks, and now they've gone one longer. Yeah. And they've still got more games left. Right? If they win this, then they go to a grand final. They lose this, they go to a third and fourth place playoff. If they win this, they're into SPL relegation/promotion. If that happens, they then have to play, obviously, the grand final, but then they also have to play best of 5 to see who gets back into the SPL, whether it's the current teams between Night's Watch and Upcoming Stars, or whether it's Myrmidons and the guys from... And my memory's just crashed, man. My memory has just crashed. We've seen such a long series already.
Yeah. I'll be perfectly honest. I am flying through these picks and bans just trying to keep up because these teams are not waiting. I am like a half a god behind on screen right now, so I have no idea what you're saying. One god left to pick in, and it's going to be stacked before I'm deciding what exactly I'm going to use to round out this team composition. Why do teams have to blow through these things so quickly?
It's a solo learner. They're missing a solo learner. What do they got to bring to the table here?
Well,
Mogal's played... Fenrir's banned.
Yeah, he is. He is. Not going to have that option. We could maybe see Hercules. I'm not sure, but actually, Myrmidons actually have on a table right now, so that may not be an option. That said, looking at what they actually have to pick, let's see. Thor, Freya, Sylvanus, Sun Wukong, Scylla for Myrmidons, Team Arcadia, Apollo, Bacchus, Agni, Cabrakan to round things out. What have we seen stacked in his prime? Or stacked in his prime. Osiris getting hovered over. This could be a viable pick for them, and we'll get locked in on that one. I actually kind of like this pickup. The anti-healing will help a ton dealing with both, not only Sylvanus, because obviously, healing, but Freya. Freya has a lot of life still built into her kit because of her passive. The Rising Man's Blessing? Something like that. Close enough, that's what I'm going to go with. I shouldn't even have tried, but it is what it is. You can see it is what it is. That said, it's going to be a pretty good counter to that. With the rest of the team composition, it's a lot of slows, a lot of soft crowd control. They have the Judgment Tethers as well for the hard crowd control with that stun, potentially on all 5 members of the enemy team. While he's tethered up with that, he gets extra protections. When he's ethereal, he gets extra protections from his passive. He has a very strong pickup in that lane. Up against Sun Wukong, he has some okay ranged clear with this too. You drop down the Spirit Flail, you poke down the wave. It's not quite a magic cudgel from Sun Wukong hitting the entire wave at the same time, but at the same time, it's okay, it's decent.
Yeah, it's not Sun Wukong, but at least Osiris can brawl really, really well, and he can stick. Freya's going to go up into the sky with her ultimate, and she's not going to be able to be hit, but as soon as she comes back down, Osiris is on her face, and he's beating on her once again. Scylla, as well, very chase downable, and a very good target for Osiris. Osiris is actually a really, really strong pick in this sort of a scenario. Why? Going to be able to deal with Wukong. Going to be able to handle Thor's ganks, going to be able to handle Sylvanus with that healing reduction, and he can stick to a Scylla or a Freya, whichever one is the better target.
For sure. What would you say are the advantages coming out for either of these teams? Do they have the early game, mid game? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at late game here, from the side of Myrmidons. And why I'm seeing that is Scylla. It's still Osiris with the damage reduction coming through from the passive is incredible in the mid to late game. And, Scylla and Freya's still going to be able to put out really, really decent amounts of magic damage, right? And then they've got Sun Wukong. Sorry, Osiris is on the wrong side. Myrmidons have Sun Wukong. He's going to be so tanky, it's so hard to deal with. They've got a Thor for a decent amount of damage. They've got a Sylvanus for initiate power. They've got all the right parts of a good combo here.
For sure. That said, guys, we're going to be jumping straight into this matchup, and it's going to be Myrmidons against Team Arcadia. It's currently sitting 2-2 in this best of 5 series. Let's go ahead and get this one underway. I don't know. Based on what you've seen so far today, do you have a favorite going to this one for who's going to go home with the victory?
Oh my god. Arcadia, so good at playing from behind, but it's been 1-1-1-1 so far. Yep. So that lends itself to Myrmidons. Who do I think's got it based on comp? I like Apollo. I really, really like Apollo's threat throughout the entire game. In fact, says on the Agni, combos really well with that. Apollo has a stronger late game, but his early game, his wave clear is kind of like the only thing lacking in hands. He just, as soon as he gets items on board, he's going to be a decent god. And they've got a lot of tankiness coming through from the rest of the composition as well. I do like Arcadia's comp here better.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if that is in fact what is going to be happening on this one. It is going to be the final match of the day, as well as this series overall. One of these teams hopes at a spot potentially in the SPL. It'll be an SPL invite on the line, at least for this game. And literally this game at this point, because it is game 5 of the best of 5 series, all the way to the ace match. So one of these teams, their hopes will be dashed for Season 2. One of the teams, though, I imagine will be quite happy with their victory. We'll see who will pull this one out. Minions finally spawning, buffs about to appear in just a few more seconds. Team Arcadia going to be starting mid-harpies on the right-hand side, while Myrmidons going instead for that speed buff and probably into the mana buff for the start.
Interesting to note as well that the side of Arcadia aren't starting on the back camp, so they're going to be level, in fact, with Myrmidons, who have opted for an identical start. Now, I like this setup for Apollo as well. Apollo just doesn't clear. If you run something like a Huyi, you insta-clear that back camp. Right? Yes. So there's... You have a lot more pressure coming into lane, but Apollo, not so. Freya, not so, right? This is just... This two setups is the correct way to play both of these left-hand side matchups.
A little bit slower to lane, just on the back of having a hog inside of Team Arcadia. They're going to not really lose a whole lot in the way of experience. See things pretty much even for the time being. But that was with only the mana buff getting picked up. The speed buff is still sitting there with the harpies being picked up as well. So when we going back to lane, they'll be a little bit further ahead, and those minion waves are about to meet for the second time in the soul lane, so they really haven't lost anything, despite not having picked up both buff camps so far. Taking at the middle lane, Shock and Smash has arrived to share some minion experience there, as they're going to head off probably for this left side harpy camp.
And take a look at what Mogau's doing on this right-hand side as well. He's only auto-attacking the minion wave, he's not burning spells whilst Bulbasaur isn't even here, and, additionally, was slowly pushing the wave. He wasn't 100% fast pushing it. Why? Minions die when they're just sitting there boxing each other, right? They die quicker when you do that. The only other way to deny them is to hard shove it underneath tower. He was never going to get that to happen at level 3. Really, really good setup, and good way to deny minions gold and XP.
A lot of trading going on in the right-hand lane, trying to avoid the stun. Mogau will be able to avoid the Judgment Tether stun portion of it, but took a lot of damage, as did Bulbasaur, as that was back and forth trading between the two of those gods. Otherwise, in solo lane, not a whole lot to really talk about. Probably going to be an Ichval picked up by Bulbasaur on his next back to base. Warrior Tower being looked at by Mogau in a little while. The interesting thing is, once again, a Girdle of Support getting picked up by Darda, or Girdle of Power, Might, whatever it is. Going to be a Girdle of Support later on down the road. But a Vampiric Shroud start for Sylvanus. Not your normal start, with a little bit of extra offensive power coming out instead for him.
It's a little bit of offensive power, a little bit of extra help, you know, wave clear early. Sustain, they can look to box a little bit better, because they've got the Vamp Shroud, right? Killing an enemy restores 10 health, 10 mana. Sylvanus can be killing those waves very early on. And, you know, it's just a really, really nice aggressive and defensive play at the same time. That's what starter items offer, right? It's just ability to go all in a little bit, you know, you're a little bit more tankier, you got a little bit more power, you've got a little bit more of everything, but not a huge deal, and your item doesn't build into anything else. Yeah, that's why you... Okay, yep.
I think Bulbasaur's soul lane been low on health for a good long while. Mogau has been winning those trades. He's going to be forced back to base. I'd expect to see a teleport picked up just so he can get back to lane as soon as he possibly can. He's just trying to sit around and hang there to soak as much experience as possible, even if the tower is going to strip away most of the gold from those waves. Going to finish off the Ichval. Probably not enough gold in hand for that teleport. This will help his trading out a little bit more back and forth, especially once those Warrior Tower are completed for Mogau, which is looking like it's going to be right about now. He's going to have a level lead, but it's going to be an overall 60 physical power difference once he shreds away some of that power from the Warrior Tower that Wukong just picked up. Thor's up left side.
Yeah, he's looking for that dunk down. He is going to land over on towards Vodin McCade. He's doing a lot of damage to the Berserker Barrage, and they will secure that first kill. Goes over in favor of Dardes. Some Myrmidons get that first blood.
Yep, nice little early start for those guys. Mid lane, taking a peek at what's going on over there. Tyne's more than happy to just sit there and watch the wave be finished off on the side of Team Arcadia. Left side Harpy's about to spawn, but look at the rotation coming in. 3 members about to run into Mr. Crunchy in that jungle. He's turning tail, not wanting any more to do with this one. The crush going to be dropped down, find a little bit of damage as Fexes eats a Sikkim. Looking for the kill here instead. I'm a Monster waiting for that Path of Flames. Going to run on out of that one. I'm Monster will not connect. Tectonic Shift finally coming out. Will lock down and find the kill onto Tynes for Stactimus.
Yeah, but they're not quite done with this one either. Mogal's up in the air. He's going to dive deep underneath the tower, confirm on towards Crunchy, and now he could turn back around, but there's an Apollo coming on his way across. Dardes is solo and will be confirmed up. Mogal now goes back in for Vex, says he's got to dodge out Vote MBK and Stactimus Prime, though. He might get base here. Vote MBK's got other ideas.
Yep, Stactimus is while trying to kind of go around the backside and catch him out on his recall. We'll pick up a couple minions in the left-hand lane, look to push that way to the tower and go back to base, get back over to his own lane. Mid lane, they weren't done quite yet. Bulbasaur found the kill into Arca's Freya.
Well, that's what you get for hanging around mid lane when you're not mid right now. Yeah. Get out of my lane. Get out of my lane. Vexus is just...
Look how quick Moga is. Like, I'm in left lane. I shouldn't be here, guys. I'm gonna just kill this one minion and go back to base and go back to my own lane because I don't belong over here on the left side of the map. I'm not Hercules. I don't want to hang around the beach. I don't have a giant beach ball to play with the crabs with. Tynes eats a couple bombs from Agni in the mid lane, but otherwise not really any worse for the wear.
No, standard early trading, especially because it's a Scylla. You know, not able to clear as effectively. Takes a little bit of minimum punishment in the early portions of the lane, so just expected stuff. Arca's now falling a little bit behind XP on towards Stardust, but he will get this second attack speed buff and level things back up. And he's going to start clearing waves nice and easily now, so keep your eyes on towards him. Just see how he goes on towards this build, again towards the Hasten Fatalis rush. So he's really looking to make sure he gets that one early on.
Yeah, it's just standard build in Freya, though, kind of. It's not really... She relies more heavily on her abilities to scale her damage up earlier on. She'll pick up a Demonic Grasp as a third item, usually, after getting boosts and the Hasten Fatalis online, but it's really just about synergizing the fact that she's slowing gods with the fact that with the Hasten Fatalis allows her to constantly be moving. It increases her attack speed, means she's doing more damage, and she's remaining mobile through the entire fight, which means it sort of acts as a defensive item at the same time.
Offensive, defensive, right? She can get in, she can get out, she can do whatever the heck she wants. She can cycle her cooldown through, get a bunch of auto attacks off, get up in the sky, and she's still safe. She's still in a really, really good position. She's got more mobility than other gods and can maintain damage as well.
Well, some jungle buffs being picked up for the time being. I got excited on the back of that last fight. It's like, are we even in EU anymore? What is this early game action? And since then, like, not much has happened quite yet. And many of you are wondering why I'm talking about this. I'm trying to invoke the Caster's Curse, so we see a bloodbath going out for Game 5, the final one for the day, the final one for the split for Challenge Cup. Yeah, this is the finals. We're not doing those today, so they don't count anymore. Anvil of Dawn up for Thor, looking for Fexes on those right side. Harpy's gonna say hello and find them. The wall drop down, Berserker Barrage. That was a lot of damage. Path of Flames, however, gets Fexes out safe.
Does he have the double tap? Shock and Smash might look for a re-engage here. He's spotted out Fexes. He's waiting for the cooldown. He's waiting for the cooldown, but so is Fexes. He's got a stun ready, and Shock and Smash was not going to die that tower either.
Bulbasaur in the right lane while that was going on. Mogal once again applying the pressure and the pain onto Bulbasaur. Going to be going back to base. Teleport getting possibly picked up. I see actives being moved around. No, not quite yet. Tier 2 boots, Tier 2 curse. I don't know if the teleport would necessarily help in the long run. He'll probably be looking to, if not a teleport, possibly Bead, just to make sure he's available to, Bead's never a bad pickup in general. Especially because the team, you have all that crowd control coming in. You don't want to be locked in place when you have a Scylla enemy team. You get caught in crowd control, you're probably going to eat an I'm a monster to the face. That's the reality of that situation. Teleport, though, would definitely help him get back to lane, keep soaking up experience. He's only 200 gold behind right now, which isn't the end of the world, but you don't 300, 350, 400, math is involved, whatever. He's behind a little bit in gold. He's not really out of the lane, but he's having a rough time, and despite that, he's doing quite well keeping things as close as possible.
Yeah, that's the important part. Just keep things as close as possible, not give up too much of an advantage. We know what the EU teams are like. They really want to get that farm online. Not giving up too much of an advantage or too much of a disadvantage is what they're focused on at this point in time, especially when you're looking at, Tynes in the mid lane. He's gone back towards this Scylla. He's going to have that threat potential. He's going to hit level 20 and look out for Amber Monster suddenly just chunking people for over a K. That's going to hurt.
Yeah. Having that lockdown before is the key. I don't want to say the key thing necessarily. We've seen so many people in the Challenger Cup play Scylla at a high enough level where they can land those hits on a very telegraphed ability, a very slow to activate ability, and land it without the person being locked down prior. I just can't say we haven't seen that today, or we have seen it today, as Thor does go up. We'll see, can they lock down this kill? Path of Flames, Vexes once again sneaks out of a gank. That was
but look at left-hand side jungle as well. Arcal got a double banish, and that may have just saved his life and got him the heck out of here and living this time around, but he's going to lose his attack speed buff for this.
Yeah, stun.
Did he get the skewer? He may have got the skewer, actually.
He did.
He did. He stole it back away, and now there's a 4-man rotation. Stactimus Prime's in a wall to hurt. They got the Intoxicate off. That's going to save his life. the exaggerated difficulty of walking in a straight line when you've been hit by that, but Shock and Smash has got other ideas.
Big time shift drop down. Muscle will barely miss because of the moves coming out from MK, but we'll be able to secure the kill up in that Valkyrie's discretion. Fight going, Mr. Crunchy throwing a bit of a tantrum, but gets caught in the sick to interrupt the Tines. 1v4 in the backline, still alive, doing work as Moga drops down from that somersault cloud, finds that kill. Second one went over to Dardes. The fight's still going on. They're split up. Tines will finally fall, but Myrmidons are looking to clean up the rest of the fight for the full-on deicide.
Deicide at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. This is the first time this has happened this entire series, and I think in the entire day as well. We haven't had bloodbaths anywhere near like this. Myrmidons wanting to go aggressive. They rotate 5 men in, and they've got a lot more damage in this early sort of section of the game. They're making everyone else pay. They're doing really, really well. Look at the gold, though. It's next to level. XP is next to level as well. It's not all that far out. Where Team Arcadia go with these pushback outs of respawning is going to be interesting, but have a look at the ward cover that Myrmidons have gotten, and that's a huge proportion of why they're up in this portion of the game as well. They made that 4-man, 5-man rotation without being spotted.
Yeah, it's, you know, wards win wars is what we say all the time, and while it didn't win the war quite yet, it definitely helped in that particular battle. So wards place right now, it's actually even. It's actually even. There may be math involved that may not be an entirely correct statement, but it's close enough that I'm going to say it's even enough. Deal with it. Math is hard.
Yeah, math is hard. Math is hard at 5:30 in the morning.
Well, you have that excuse at least. Middle of the afternoon, but I smell barbecue and I want to go eat some lovely steaks and burgers and hot dogs. Yeah, it doesn't kill. I got distracted by burgers. You can smell it. Nuts.
It's the 4th of July, man. What the hell? You're here. That's passion for Smite right there. The fact that you're here, you're casting on the 4th of July. Shock and Smash is going to come in and wall off Fexes in the middle lane, and look at the burst that comes through from the Berserker Barrage. Double stun comes through from Fexes, but I wouldn't have walked back in there if I was you. I would have just kept running out, but now they've got the engage on the left-hand side of things as well, and Myrmidons, they've got the numbers advantage.
Crunchy in the middle of a bad spot. A belly flop comes in and as well the Intoxicate for Stackness Prime to pick up Shock and Smash. Arcadia thinking about going after Mr. Crunchy, but he's more or less free and clear at the moment, assuming he doesn't stop for now. But MK, that lockdown, going to use the moves up in the air. Bacchus discretion secures that kill to help him Moga off that somersault cloud. Crunchy will live, but two of his other teammates did not.
Is this going to be a gold fury? Are we about to see a gold? I feel like we're about to see a gold fury. This is a very, very early gold fury. So 11:35. This is, I'm going to say, a second earliest gold fury today, because I'm pretty sure we saw one sub 10 minutes, but only one. So this is an interesting play, and you can already see that Bulbasaur has rotated over and put some pressure down.
You had to comment on it being the earliest one, now they reset it. Why'd you have to go and do that? All your fault.
Because Caster's Curse.
All your fault. It is the Caster's Curse. I can't criticize I invoked it backwards previously. Mogal, mid lane, caught out, locked down. One little birdie later says goodbye. Bulbasaur looking to give chase, but more or less free and clear. Tines, on the other hand, still right. Dart is in position to lock down the grab, the roots, the walls, all the things. Tines eats a Spirit Flower, otherwise survives. A Shock and Smash adds another kill to the board for Myrmidons.
Spinning Hammer to the face really hurts, as Bulbasaur just found out, and he's having a really, he's having a really rough game. Him and Fexes. Fexes is at 0-3, and 1-3 for Bulbasaur. Admittedly, he's got an assist on side as well, but it's Shock and Smash that's making all the moves this game. Look at him, 3-1-6. He's the one that all the engages and all the plays are coming off the back of, and he got Thor. That's what you want to be doing when you got Thor in the early part.
They're making good use of it for sure. Taking a peek at what else is going on across the board. The Vampiric Shroud. And the extra damage was kind of interesting. The extra damage coming out, you land a root, and boom, the damage that came out of that thing was big. But it's going to be a more standard build otherwise. The Girdle of Might, Power, Support, that will be support eventually once it's built up to tier 3, because I think, what is it? I'm just going to look. Power. I tried like every other possible option, I just never got there. It'll be a Girdle of Support. A lot of extra damage for the team. Otherwise, I would have loved to see, just go Telkines and just go damage Sylvanus kind of thing. I would have loved it, but it wasn't the reality of the situation. It's Game 5 of the Challenger Cup. This is not the time to start doing crazy stuff. No,
I mean, Winged Blade? Yes. Hasten Fatalis? Hasten Fatalis to Telkine's ring? No.
Winged Blade
Get the heck out of
the
here,
Sylvanus bread and butter. It's like the perfect thing
it
for
is.
Movement speed on one of the slower gods of the game, if not the slowest. Attack speed, the health, the cooldown
Stuns in mid lane. Fexes is in trouble, but they've turned it back around and focused on towards Shock and Smash, who's now going to take to the air. Whether he wants to go for Fexes or not, I'm going to say he's not, as he's probably about to slam down and take mid camps. Nope, he's just going to take a minion wave.
Why go to the Harpies directly when you can go for the minions and then the Harpies? You gotta maximize your ultimate usage. All about the farm with the Anvil of Dawns. Curse drop by Moga mid lane. They're trying to lock some people down. Moga, I believe, just got stunned out of that Tiger stance by the Judgment Tethers. Bulbasaur getting caught out, locked down, damaged out as well. Lord of the Afterlife will be forced so he can survive the engagement. Stacked Miss, some very, very disgusting breath in the direction of Mogao. He got into that 4th of July booze earlier on today. It's been bad all day long, believe me. It's been horrible. Tynes, a little bit of poke, but right now Team Arcadia very much on the back foot. 2.5 to 3,000 gold down based on exact moments and stuff like that. I'm just going to look at the graph. You can see it on the button. That's not the right button. There you go. Bottom of the screen, just under 3,000. Math is hard. Math is hard.
But let's talk about this. I mean, Myrmidons have put the hammer down. They've said, right, we're going to aggress this early game. Fex says is in a little bit of trouble. He's been forced to path the flames out, and there's still the engage going on in the middle. They got exactly what they want. Tynes is going to secure the first kill of this fight. Now Mogal's deep underneath the tower and making sure that he's doing all the tanking. As tanky as he is, Crunchy is in trouble, and he's been gone now as well. And now they might actually get a focus either on towards the Gold Fury or this first middle tower. If they get either one, they're sitting in the hot seat at this early stage of the game.
I'm loving this. Myrmidons going for the Gold Fury. Force the issue. What is the worst that happens? You reset it and get more kills. You zone out. They can't get anyone nearby to steal it. They have Bacchus. So what? The Intoxicate is down. They are going to force the reset, but look at the positioning of the team right now. Apollo is burning mana in the middle of the air. Stacked his prime now, caught out, as is Bulbasaur. They're going to leap away, but again, forcing abilities to be used. They're looking to lock down Bulbasaur, find a kill over there in the left-hand side of the jungle. They've just forced an ultimate. Tyne's going to look for it and lock down that kill with the monster.
Yeah, and he's got the reset as well. He's not just happy with one, he was looking for two. Didn't unfortunately find the reset on towards Sactimus Prime's counter towards that base, but they do get a red steal away. The stun on towards Tynes. They're not quite done with this. They're going to steal the attack speed, so 2 buffs have gone from the jungle of Team Arcadia, and they're starting to bleed out. They need to stem the flow of this blood running away from their gold pool very, very quickly, or they are going to continue to get further and further behind. What does that mean? That means they're on their way out of any chance at a Pro League spot.
Yeah, it's still, honestly, it's still early. Feels like it's early. If this was NA, this would be like the 30-second mark or so in the game with like 80 kills on the board. This has actually been slow by even North American standards. Oh, this is actually entirely slow by North American standards. This is very fast by EU standards, on the other hand.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, the games that we've seen thus far, this is incredibly fast between these two teams as well. Both of them have generally wanted to play the slower game and play to their pace. And they've never really stepped to the opposition's pace, right? We're starting to see Arcadia crumble to Myrmidons' expressive, fast-paced, flowing pick-central game this time around because that's what their comp dictates, right?
Yep.
Arcadia just can't handle it.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing aggressive plays coming as well. Tynes, that last engagement, that was a blink sickum to start that fight off, and she found the kill split second later. It's not just because I know we're waiting around, just look for the perfect initiation. You have the mid lane Scylla starting plays with a blink initiation. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, not really.
Crunchy.
Not really.
Taking a little bit of poke and damage. Mid lane Freya already used the discretion. Tynes finds the kill, looking for number 2. Not quite going to hit, but hit 3 minions, so that's like a 300% accuracy for that fight or something like that. Math, not my strong suit, as we've all established. But nevertheless, he hit the minions, so he did not miss with it. That was what he was really
doing. And they've got a nice kill off, and it's on towards Crunchy as well. He's the jungler. Thor's going to take to the skies and make sure that the counter engages here as the Gold Fury is in trouble of going down. Stactimus Prime got caught out by Shock and Smash, but now he's alone in the skies as Apollo, and this fight is really starting to break out. Fexus is low.
Stactimus as well as Bulbasaur, not in a great spot. Can they lock down these kills? Moga's up in the air just waiting for the who should I go down? It's going to be Stactimus. Magic Code will not quite damage. Masters will secure, and nevertheless unstoppable right now for him. 7-0-5 as Tynes finds another one. Mogao definitely leading the charge on the kill side of things, but the rest of the team is following up as necessary to lock down these guys. Look at the damage numbers coming out. Actually, Moga top of the damage chart as well. I would not have expected that one, but he has definitely been a big factor in all these fights.
Yeah, and so is Fexes, though, hitting that 10k mark. He's the only one on his team above 7k at this point in time. When you've got 3 members and 3 big members doing big numbers from the side of the Myrmidons, he's got to be that centric mid lane carry at the moment, because if he's not, they're bowing out. He's got to buy them time. He's got to clear those waves, but there's only so much fire that he can rain down.
Absolutely. It's one of the small issues with the ability. It's like you'd love to drop those bombs all day long, but you know, cooldowns and Halo regeneration timers and all that silly stuff. Give me like Omnipotence, 80% max cooldown reduction, infinite mana stuff, and drop bombs all day long. Then people would pick Guan Yu, and somebody's finger would fall off, and, well, nobody would ever die anyway, because Weaken Curse and anti-healing. I'm getting off topic a little bit, but it would be disgusting if Agni could drop bombs that quickly regularly.
I know, right? You just, like, sit there and just spam the key as you walked along the lane, right?
Yep. Indeed. It would be disgusting.
Imagine if Sylvanus took slightly increased damage from Agni as well.
How'd that work with Amir? Who would take more damage? At the same time, you heat the ice up, it could potentially explode, but at the same time, the ice melts and then puts Agni out.
If Agni, Ymir, and Poseidon are all in the same game, every time he tags Ymir with an ability, Ymir loses power and it transfers to Poseidon.
That could work.
That could very much work.
Otherwise, taking a peek back at the game, and Demonic Grasp was picked up by Freya. Getting a little bit extra damage, a little bit of protection shred online as well. Book of Thoth for Scylla, looking at that damage spike, and a little bit of extra on the top as well as those stacks finally built up, and she gets a little bit extra from her mana pool. Otherwise, double mid guardian mail picked up by Team Arcadia. They're trying to slow down the power and aggression from some of those auto attack based gods as Fexes gets pulled back in, but once again, Path of Flames gets him back out safe.
Yeah, and they're going to manage to continue kiting around this one. An important point to note for mid laners is they get a significant more amount of power coming through from a Book of Thoth than hunters actually do get from the Transcendence. Why? Mid laners have a higher mana pool. If you look at a late game mana pool of a hunter, it's only like 900. They're not getting all that much from a Transcendence when you compare it to a mid laner, because it's 3% on both of them. 3% of your mana pool is converted into power.
Yep.
Right? Mid laners, 2k on Scylla already.
Well, speaking of Freya, that's an Apollo, excuse me, Freya finding the kill onto him. Vote MK trying to summon that chariot from across the skies. Unfortunately enough, if it just followed him around, it was like a helicopter just hover above him the entire game, it could work so much better potentially, but he keeps it like back at base for some strange reason. Maybe one of those ships out in the water is like secretly an aircraft carrier or something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. Well, Myrmidons starting to lift the ante a little bit. They've taken it to an 8k lead, and they're continuing to push their advantage. Stactimus Prime's in trouble, and he's going to be picked up by Arcal, who locks another one in the bank, and they're going to force away Mr. Crunchy. This is a tier 2 already falling in that left-hand lane. This is a very quick game for an EU, and this is starting to worry me from Team Arcadia.
Yep, that is for sure. Mogal right now leading the charge for his team. Myrmidons 20 kills to 5 right now. This is game 5 of this best of 5 series for an SPL qualifier. Invite Apollo's up in the air. They're looking to start this fight up right now. He's going to drop down Tines and Arcal. Take damage. Shock and smash though with the Amble of Dawn. Finds the stuns. Tectonic Rift is dropped.
Yeah, but they're not quite done here as well. Down comes all the damage. Crunchy's starting to get incredibly low. Unfortunately for Tynes, didn't quite secure it, but he will with the crush. That's going to drop on through. Who's going to be the next focus? What can they do? I'm not sure that Dardes can find a Nature's Grasp, but if he could, that would almost certainly be game for Myrmidons.
It's getting more or less at that point. Respawn times are starting to get reasonably long already. 35 seconds more or less across the board when people start to fall. They're going to shift their focus a little bit, start taking these towers, get some more gold in the bank. They have a decent amount right now. You see some guys going back to base to shop up. Fire Giant is definitely a possible option. We saw Myrmidons kind of force the fight issue at that gold fear a little while ago. If they do that same approach at the Fire Giant, it's like, well, either you fight us or we get the Fire Giant. You fight us, well, we're ahead. We want you to fight us. So it's a rock and a hard place for them. And they don't have Geb to help them out.
No Geb to help them out, no Earth, nothing like that at all. Check out the gold advantage, check out the experience advantage. If you're sitting in the Myrmidons corner, if you're Mogal right now, you're home free, you're 16.5k up on that experience bar. You guys are whacking the level 20 across Mogal, across Tynes, Shock and Smash, Dardes, and Arkle are starting to get there as well. But there's not a single level 20 coming through from the Arcadia side of things. This is where it gets scary. Tynes is maxed out on that I'm a Monster, and he is going to hit like an absolute truck.
Without a doubt, I mean, he is already. Look at the damage numbers coming out from that team. I mean, this hasn't really changed much since that last fight because there hasn't been much fighting going on. It's been kind of, we start the fight up, everything is getting thrown every which way, and then somebody dies, and then teams go ahead and disengage. It's kind of a back and forth kind of poke situation for them. They're looking for the right picks, and once you see the right targets go down, if they find Fexes, if they find Voda BK, Myrmidons are going to commit very heavily to a fight. Team Arcadia, same type of deal. If they get Tynes, they get Arcal, they're going to commit very heavily to the fight. Anybody else is like, okay, great, we took them down, but the damage dealers, the guys we're really afraid of, are still alive, so we don't want to commit too heavily to this engagement.
Yeah, it's a problem. You know, committing too hard. That's the major point that can really lose Myrmidons the game at this point. One major fight win for Arcadia, and they're back into things, especially. They can get a bunch of shutdown kills. They can really snowball their gold pool. They've got to be careful from the side of Myrmidons. They've got the lead. If they slow play this out, if they don't throw it at a fire giant, they wait for the right objectives, they can secure this one pretty easy. Arcadia are not going to let that happen.
And you're talking about those shutdown bonuses. Right now, Mogao is a fully stacked 750 gold shutdown if they can find that kill. A couple of other guys, Tynes may not be too far behind. I remember the last time he died. Blink coming in as well as the girl of support pop. They're looking for the initiation. Thor is up in the air. Wrath of Terror found a few. Will it be enough?
Not quite just yet. They're still looking for whatever they can find, though. The pirate dive is starting to come through. Tynes gets the first time a monster. He's going to look for Fexes. Here in a second. He's got two. He's got two. He's looking for Crunchy. He doesn't quite get the three, but he does set it up for Argyle, and that is three. This could be Myrmidon succeeding and moving on to the grand finals. They're looking for Stactimus. He's gone. Tynes finds a triple. This game is over. Myrmidons, look at them. What a series these guys have played.
This would be an absolute miracle defense coming out here. 1v5 by Bulbasaur. Myrmidons, I'd expect they'd go for it. Are they? They're not. Okay. This isn't the worst decision in the world. It'd be great if the game was over right here, right now, just because of the way this game is going right now. The series over. Myrmidons have a very strong lead. But look at the respawn times. All Bulbasaur has to do is buy time. They wouldn't have had backdoor. They would have had rather backdoor protections to contend with on Titan. And with a Judgment Tether coming out, all he would have had to do is just leap forward into the fight, pop the Judgment Tethers. He's going to be fairly tanky because of the extra protections, find the stun, and then the respawn times come back up almost simultaneously. Myrmidons could then have lost that momentum. They're going to play it safe. Back off, get that Phoenix, crack the base of Team Arcadia, get the Gold Fury, head back to base, shop up, and look to do that exact same thing again.
You know, when we were prepping for today, none of us really thought that we'd see a best of 5 series. None of us thought that we'd see it all go one way. I think, we all sort of thought that it was either going to go one way, one game was going to be the difference. But what a series we've seen from both of these teams. Like, this last game is not showing what Arcadia are truly capable of. That last game that they just played, 15-2 against Myrmidons.
Yeah.
Now Myrmidons are doing it to them. Other than that, it has been an even series throughout. These last 2 games have highlighted the strengths of both of these teams. But Myrmidons, they're pulling out the aces at the right time.
Some heavy warding going on in the Fire Giant side of the jungle. Myrmidon's thinking about setting that one up right now. Team Arcadia just kind of huddling around the base. I want to make sure the Myrmidons can't look to just storm through and close the game out. What exactly they're going to go for? It's looking like it's going to be Fire Giant as it is finally getting started up right now. Shock and Smash on zoning due to keeping tab on exactly where people are. If they're not aware of this going on right now, they have to very, very strongly suspect this is exactly what's happening. Fire Giant is dropping rapidly. There's no Wrath of the Gods to secure this one. It's going to be a straight up burn down to 0, and it will fall. Myrmidons, Fire Giant buff across 5. Now they're on the hunt and looking for kills. Shock and Smash, teleport forward. Wall is good for 1.
Yeah, but can they find the kill on the Stactimus? The Berserker Barrage got cancelled out by Fexes. It was a really nice play. Stactimus is the 100% focus from these guys. They'll burn through him. Another kill in Arkyle's favor. They're gonna walk forward, and this has got to be a Titan defense with only 4 members. There's no Intoxicate. There's no dizziness that's gonna prevent them from moving around exactly as they want, and that could be crucial on a Titan defense.
Yep, Thor up in the air. They're going to look to force the issue right now. Fexes could be the target of the Anvil of Dawn. If he's in range, he's going to path the flames back a little bit further. Shock and Smash down the middle of 2 with the help of Tynes, doing damage to Mr. Crunchy, who is about to fall. Shock and Smash, one more hit. We'll find it. Beads offensively looking for the cooldown. Right side, that Phoenix still more or less healthy, but they find Vote MBK.
Yeah, and Data securing that kill is a really big push here for Myrmidons. They got a lot of damage off on towards Mr. Crunchy, just didn't quite secure the kill. The health bars are starting to tick in towards the red, but this is the final push. Myrmidons are going to want to secure this one, but they're playing it safe. They're playing it smart till the end. And what a game.
Yep, Tectonic Shift dropped on down, did catch out a few members. Tyne's going to use the Sentinel under the walls to get back out safely. Cross is going to find a couple of hits for damage. Crunchy very, very low. Bulbasaur finds Shock and Smash. This could be the defense they need, but Mogao answers straight back.
Yeah, Crunchy's gonna drop, and he's such a tanky member as well. Stactimus Prime is incredibly low, and Mogao's got one more in hand to secure that one up. He's 2 in this fight at the moment. 9-0-4. This is a huge, huge monkey, and no one wants to mess with him. But from the side of the Myrmidons, they're playing it safe. They're letting the minions do the work in the mid lane, and they're forcing them away. Tynes wants that Titan.
Darnez blinks forward, looking for the aggressive play. Fex is so low. Will he survive? No, he will not. Moga finds yet another one. I'm Monster connects on the Bulbasaur for damage. Crush secures the kill for him. It is only Voda MK left standing once again. One member between Team Arcadia, Myrmidons rather, and the Team Arcadia Titan. Can they now secure this victory? It's Mr. Crunchy stacking this up in just a few seconds, but the Titan health is dropping rapidly. This could be the last final moments. Vote MBK will fall. Crunchy is up. Can they hold on right now? It's looking like it's not going to be the case.
30%, 20%, they're counting it. Look at these guys from Myrmidons. They're happy. They're walking forward. 5%, 1%. It is over. Myrmidons move on to the grand finals, and they will be facing off against either the upcoming Stars or the Night's Watch. What a series, Jordan. We have seen some intense games in this second series. This would have been the one to start the day on.
Yeah, I mean, this was a big play coming out for those guys. It was a full series going all the way to the 5th game. We'll have the scores on the brackets on screen update in just a second. Both these teams fought hard. Both teams in both brackets fought hard for their victories. They'll be playing each other in the finals. We're not going to be airing that game today because it has been a very, very long day so far. Almost 7 hours so far of streaming nothing but Smite, which while it is great, we have more Smite to bring you tomorrow, and we don't want our voices to be completely and utterly fried going into that one, because sitting here talking like this probably not going to be fun to listen to all day long.
No. And don't forget, we'll have Hindu joining us tomorrow. He's got the latest from all the way over stateside. Maybe he's got some really good anecdotal stuff from his first 4th of July.
The downside to that is going to be we're going to miss out on all the fun banter.
Fun banter? Doesn't Hindu bring fun banter?
Well, Hindu brings fun banter.
And songs?
I don't know if he has as much banter and salt for the NA side of things.
Ooh.
I'm not calling it a shot. I'm just making a question of, is that in fact the situation? How much banter has he prepared? I'm sorry, banter. I'm not going to forget it. Whatever. It didn't happen. I never did that. I should not be trying to do anything remotely resembling a British accent. That said, and in all seriousness, guys, very big congratulations to the Myrmidons, securing themselves an SPL qualifiers / relegation invite for a couple weeks down the road. They fought hard for it, and they were able to claim victory in the end over their opponents here in the semifinal matchup for the EU Challenger Cup Grand Finals. So congratulations to those guys. They'll be facing off against some of the SPL teams, Night's Watch, and upcoming Stars in a few weeks. There are still the finals to play. We'll be airing those during the week. I believe we will be doing those Tuesday. The time exactly is to be decided. We'll probably be starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. I believe it's about 6, 7 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So again, we'll have follow myself or Hindu on Twitter. Just watch for those on Twitter. We'll get those times to you as soon as we actually have them finalized. And with that, guys, that's more or less going to wrap things up for the EU side of things today.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, we've seen some amazing series today, but we're back tomorrow.
Yeah.
We've got the NA Challenger Cup Finals. They got their July 4th off, but now they've got to go to battle. They've got to put it all on the line. It's Yomi versus Resist Gaming and COG Crusaders versus High Five for those final 2 spots in NA that proceed and who will be taking home the big cash prizes at the end of the split. If you want to make sure that you are tuning in here tomorrow, don't forget to follow Smite Game on Twitter. Don't forget to follow the channel here, and we will see you tomorrow as well.
So with that said, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're celebrating the 4th of July in the United States or just anywhere else in the world, have a happy and safe holiday. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for watching. My co-caster and hi-rez studios. Have a great day.